Hello everybody, it is LeafsFan18 with you once again, as I get ready to do another game on my channel. First of all, you're looking at my lone Skype guest, which is Justin271995, aka Justin the Belcher. And there's your proof. Now, what game am I going to be playing? Well, it's this one! Jeopardy Super Deluxe for the PC. This is Jeopardy, as Johnny Gilbert would say. I won $10,074 alone in a solo game earlier. Now, how I'm gonna... This was off camera, of course. Now, how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna be doing these games as solo games, and as long as I finish Final Jeopardy with a positive total, that will be considered to be a win, and I'll get to start a run. So let's see what happens. And the categories for this first round are state mottos, TV shows by character, Pearl Harbor, Great History, great in quotation marks, Grand Canyon History, and lastly, Lost in Yonkers. Now, I'm just going to reposition this so that you can all see the whole Jeopardy board. There we go. And I'll start with TV shows by character for 200.
I just got the cheese.
Ew. Ugly John, Charles Emerson Winchester III, Hot Lips. MASH. 400. Norm Peterson, Lilith Sternin, Cliff Clavin. What is Cheers?
Yeah.
And there was an episode of Cheers, by the way, where Cliff was on Jeopardy.
I know.
TV shows by character 600. Zap Brannigan, Dr. Zoidberg, Bender. What is Futurama? 800, please. Carrie, Miranda, Mr. Big. I have no idea. Sex and the City, a show I do not take interest in. 1000. Abby Perkins, Arnie Becker, Douglas Brackman. LA Law. LA Law. Alright, state mottos 200. Small state, small motto. Hope.
Maine?
That's not a choice. It's Rhode Island, Delaware, New Hampshire, or Hawaii. I'll say Hawaii. No, it's Rhode Island. 400. An archipelago. The life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. Now is the time for Hawaii. 600. The Big Sky State. Oro y Plata. Gold and silver. Montana. 800. On our northern border, Etoile du Nord, the Star of the North. What is Minnesota? I got that one. 1,000, please. It's also the Beehive State. Industry. Utah. Okay, Great History 200. This lawn defensive barrier was designated a World Heritage Site in 1987. What is the Great Wall of China? And that's correct. Great History for 400. Once a spokesman for General Electric, Ronald Reagan earned this nickname as president.
What are the choices?
The Great Emancipator, the Great Compromiser, the Great Humanist, the Great Communicator.
The Great Emancipator, I think.
No, it's Communicator.
Sorry.
That's okay. 600. It began in the house of the King's Baker, Pudding Lane, September 2nd, 1666. The Great Fire of London. 800, please. In 1954, Khufu's funeral ship was discovered near this landmark, his tomb. The Great Pyramid, and I will finish it up. The Flinders Passage through this was named for the British explorer who ran aground on it in 1803. The Great Barrier Reef is what we were looking for.
Oh.
Grand Canyon History 200. Hardworking, crossbred, generally sterile mammals that work the Grand Canyon. Also part of a Frankie Lane hit title. Mules. 400. 1,450 miles long. It's the Grand Canyon's backbone. The Missouri River? No, the Colorado River. 600. This man was the innovator of Grand Canyon tourism. Judy Garland played one of his girls in the 1946 MGM feature. Fred Harvey. Never heard of him. 800. Basically, two geological processes created the Grand Canyon. Uplift and this. Erosion.
And about that last one, the only Harvey that I'm familiar with is Steve Harvey.
Same with me. 1,000. Renamed Grand Canyon Conqueror. John Wesley Powell. Lost in Yonkers 200. Miss Levy, the matchmaker, has her eye on Mr. Vandergelder of Yonkers in this 1964 musical. And it's Hello, Dolly. 400. The city's website claims the USA's first game of this took place at Yonkers St. Andrews Club. What is baseball? No, it's golf. It's down to 600. You can get to Yonkers from New York City by taking the Partway named for this man, like the nearby river. Henry Hudson. 800, please. Like the adjacent Bronx, Yonkers was settled by people from this European nation in 1639.
France?
No, Netherlands. That's okay. 1,000. The 85-mile-long Delaware, one of these structures, runs from a reservoir in the Catskills to one in Yonkers. An aqueduct.
Excuse me.
Pearl Harbor 200. This battleship, completely destroyed in the first 30 minutes, still sits below water as a memorial. The Arizona. 400, please. Japan's message of war reached the White House after the attack, as the assembly took too long doing this to it. Decoding it. 600, please. Answer there, the Daily Double. I'll put in 400. This will get me back on the plus side if I'm right. The message back to Japan's fleet that the attack was a successful surprise. It meant tiger, 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 tiger. Tora, Tora, Tora. I got it!
Woo!
And I'm back on the plus side. 800. Japan had pulled the trip before. They did it against this country's navy in 1904. And it's Russia they were looking for. 1,000. Based at Pearl, the Lexington, the Saratoga, and this carrier were out trekking on maneuvers, so they were saved. The Enterprise. And that takes us to the end of the Jeopardy round, and I have only $200, but since it's a solo game, I am in the lead. And now we're going to move into the double Jeopardy round. 2 daily doubles. And here come the amounts, the double dollar amounts. And the new categories are places in the news, conflicts, all the world's a stage, on old maps, Hitchcock, and vocabulary.
Got vocabulary.
Alright. A coin or anything else in this condition is as perfect as if just produced. What is mint? Yep. Vocabulary for 800, please. You can have this type of head, conscience, or selling a property with no liens against it, title. Clear. 1,200. Term for 1 unit of goods sold at Sotheby's, or however you pronounce it. A lot. 1,600. An indication of quality. It comes from the type of building where London goldsmiths approved items. Hallmark. And 2,000, please. Meaning capable of being sold. It's the exact opposite of the type of rights in the Declaration of Independence. Alienable. Never heard of that term. Old maps 400. Tuvalu used to be the LECs. Islands. 800. Part of this country was once Kievan Rus, or however you say it.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Thanks.
Ukraine. Okay, places in the news 400. In 2000, Salman Rushdie visited this, his native country, for the first time since the Satanic Versus Furor. Correct response, what is India? India. 800, please. People of the South American city were upset by a Simpsons episode showing street kids monkeys there. What is Rio de Janeiro? And I'm right. I happen to have seen that episode, so... 1,200. In a landmark case, Slobodan Milosevic was arraigned on war crimes charges in this European city in 2001. Correct response, what is The Hague? The Hague. 1,600. A coup against this country's President Hugo Chavez fizzled in 2002. What is Venezuela? And I got it right! 2,000. On June 14th, 2001, the U.S. said it would end bombing exercises on this Puerto Rican island. Viclays. Old maps 12. What's now the southwest Arizona city was Arizona City before being named for a native people. It's Yuma. Never been there. 1600, please. 1890s U.S. map showed the Twin Territories, Oklahoma Territory, and this. Indian Territory.
Oh.
2000. The area once known as United Provinces is now this Indian state that also has the initials UP. Initials UP. Uttar Pradesh. Never heard of that. Hitchcock 400. Jessica Tandy finds a farmer dead, his eyes gouged out in this 1963 thriller. The Birds. Hitchcock for 800. Hitchcock made this film in 1934 and then remade it in 1956 with Doris Day and Jimmy Stewart. The Man Who Knew Too Much. 1200, please. Cary Grant admires Grace Kelly's big diamonds in this 1955 caper. To Catch a Thief. 1600, please. Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman fall in love and ferret out Nazis in Brazil in this classic. What is notorious? And let's go for 2000. John Dahl and Farley Granger strangle a college friend just for thrills in this, Hitch's first color film. Rope. Well, we know where the two daily doubles are. Conflicts 400. 1147 to 1149. In the Holy Land for the second time. The Second Crusade. 800. Oh, whoops. It's believed that Nicomachus, a character in this famous Florentine's 1525 play Calzia, is a self-portrait, and I accidentally selected 800 for All the World's a Stage. Niccolo Machiavelli. Alright, 800 for Conflicts. There we go. And the answer there is one of the daily doubles. I'll risk 400. 1066. Severed England. What is the Battle of Shrewsbury? No, it's the Battle of Hastings.
Yeah, I kind of thought that, actually. I forgot.
World's a Stage for 400, and the answer there is the other daily double. Okay, I'll go 400 again. This National Theatre of Ireland celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2004. What is the Abbey Theatre? Yes! Got it. Conflicts 12. 431 to 404 BC in ancient Greece. The Peloponnesian War is what they wanted. 1600. 1455 to 1485. Between two different British royal houses.
World War I?
No, World War I was much later than that. The Wars of the Roses. It was the 1400s they were talking about. World War I wasn't until much later.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Conflicts 2000. 1702 to 1713. Her war in North America. Correct response, Queen Anne's War. Queen Anne's War. 1200. The audience for this Russian play, A Month in the Country, should always include some fathers and sons. Ivan Turgenev. 1600, please. His 2004 play, Exits and Entrances, made its entrance onto the world stage in Los Angeles, not in his native South Africa. Athol Fugard, who I've never heard of. Now the $2,000 clue. He's the Belgian playwright who gave us The Bird. The Bluebird. and Maurice Maeterlinck was who they were looking for. So I go into Final Jeopardy with $3,000. And our Final Jeopardy category for this game is U.S. History. I'm going to wager 0. Dating back to the Revolution, it's the oldest continuously occupied military post in the United States.
What are the options?
Fort Knox, Fort Sumter, Annapolis, and West Point.
Fort Sumter?
West Point.
Oh, sorry.
But Justin, I did not wager anything, so I finish up with $3,000 and I get to start a run. So $3,000 is my final score for this game, and I'll have another game of this very soon.